Hi there everybody, an update on how I'm going with Algae Creek. I was just starting to sew the lining in and I thought, I should show you guys how I'm finishing off this garment because it might be of interest to you. First of all, the skirt, I was working on that at the end of the last video. I made a comment how I'd need to put a slit in the skirt because having made it into a tube all the way down, this hem was going to be way too narrow to walk in. So I put them face to face and sewed this vent here to open it up. And there it is. That is the skirt with the long slit in there to enable the practical matter of being able to walk. So that is now attached. Then I went through quite a few kind of options about how I was going to attach the skirt to the bodice, and I sewed a few things and unpicked them and ended up deciding on making a full-length underskirt, like a petticoat affair. Now I just started stitching this in a moment ago before I realised, I should make a video about how this is. So I've sewed it in across the back neck there, so I can't pull the whole thing out to show you at this stage. However, what I eventually decided to do was to sew the top of the skirt onto this little petticoat here, and when I did that, I've stretched it really wide around the torso here so that when the garment is worn, because this is nice and stretchy, this will accommodate the bust if the wearer has a bust, and this part should fit quite smoothly around the hips. So it is made like a sleeveless bodice there. I'm actually going to put a little sleeve onto this garment, and I started stitching it in across the neckline there. And I'm about to do that across the front and around the sleeves in a moment. The skirt is surprisingly heavy. This first piece that I started out with, the underskirt here, is a cotton knit, quite a heavy fabric, and then all this embellishment stuff over the top, this other knit's quite heavy, so it's surprisingly heavy. So it needed something really firm to stitch into the bodice. Sewing it just onto the bodice was going to drag it straight down, and I really liked the way this moves. So putting it in separately, and I won't sew this down, allows that to be almost like two separate pieces together. Back, front, and I'm going to go away again now and complete sewing this on here. Because this is a knit that I've made this petticoat with, I don't need to spend time hemming it. I'm just stitching straight through the edge there to attach it to the neckline, and I'll do the same around the armholes, and any excess stuff that's sticking out like that, I'll just trim it away after it's stitched in. And because of the weight of the skirt, having it stitched in around the neck and around the armholes is going to give it really good support to hold that heavy skirt up. So I'll just close out here and we'll be back perhaps for a final update. I wanted to show you what a nice clean finish this is giving the inside of the bodice. So I've just pinned it all around the armholes and the neckline where I'm going to stitch it, and I'm stitching it with a zigzag so that it's still got a little bit of give and stretch in it. So you can see how, because there was a lot of stitching on the inside of the bodice textile, this covers it up quite nicely and makes the finish of it really, really clean on the inside. So I'm pretty happy with having chosen the finishing way to make a petticoat. Here we go. I'll see you later. Okay, I'm now showing you the completely finished garment. As you can see, I've put some sleeves in. You know, I'm often a little bit leery about making sleeveless garments because many of the women who are self-possessed and creative enough to wear a garment like this are usually older women, and a lot of us are a bit sensitive about the back wings that we get under our arms as we grow older, that loose skin, particularly if you're a bit overweight like me. It does tend to be not something we like to waggle about in public. So yeah, I've put some sleeves on here on Algae Creek. She's sleeved up, and it was really simple matter. I just cut out a couple of sleeves from this sheer stuff. It's really great stuff to sew on. It's a lot like curtaining fabric. It is, of course, totally synthetic. It has a little bit of stretch this way and none at all this way. So it's a one-way sort of stretch net, which having some stretch one way works well for certain things in the garment, and having no stretch the other way, vice versa, works pretty well for other things. So there we go. This is how the under petticoats worked. It's down there. This is also a sheer fabric under here. You can see, pretty sheer. So this is the top bodice part, hangs completely loose all the way around. It's not stitched down anywhere except for around the neckline and the sleeve holes, the armholes. And that's the front once again. So on the sleeves I just did some more of this, put some more of this stretch knit strip on here to tie it in with the skirt part of the garment. So that is the completion of this project, and the next video I'll be starting a new one.